You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hi, I'm Bob, and I'm going to fart. And the egg. But where is it? That intro has been sent in by Linda, who works for Kevin, apparently. Hang on, Linda? Is that you, Linda? That Linda? Linda? Is that you, Linda? Maybe there's more than one. Anyway, this Linda says, I'm a fan, and my sister thinks you sound like a stinky hippo. Well, thanks to you, Linda, who works for Kevin, but zero thanks, in fact, minus thanks to your sister. And to the rest of you, hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast for all ages from... to... and everything in between. And I suppose we do have to ask now, where is the egg and who is Bob, if it's Linda that sent in the intro? Is it an important egg? And why does Bob need to find it before he farts? Is it a very fragile, maybe ancient egg, like a dinosaur one, and Bob's fart might be too powerful and break it, upsetting everyone at the museum? That would be a problem. I mean, maybe Bob works at the museum, and I guess everyone who works in a museum probably has to be very careful about where they fart, you know, in case it's too whiffy and it destroys an ancient vase or makes a mummified pharaoh disintegrate. I get that. But maybe I've got this wrong. Perhaps Bob is just a guy who needs to fart, but he can't fart unless he finds his egg. Maybe it's like a special comfort aid egg and he doesn't feel safe, or he's scared of farting unless his egg friend is there. I suppose eggs can smell like farts, so maybe if you're carrying an egg around and you fart and everyone says, "What is that, Guffy stinks?" you could say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's just this egg I carry everywhere." And so maybe Bob is like a super important, maybe he's like a president of somewhere or like a super important emissary for somewhere, and he's forgotten to carry his egg around, and he just happens to be at like the UN General Assembly or like the film premiere for the brand new blockbuster movie Jeff 4. Jeff does that thing again and everyone laughs, you know, where Jeff does that thing again and everyone laughs. It's brilliant. And then just as they're about to show the film and Jeff himself is in the audience, and then Bob farts and he's meant to show everyone his egg and say, "Don't worry, it's just the egg," but then he's forgotten it, and that would be chaos, wouldn't it? So wow, I mean, who knows what could happen. Bob could get banned from the cinema for life, banned from the UN General Assembly for life. I'm pretty sure farting is banned from both of those places. There's actually a very long list of things that you're not allowed to do at the cinema. I don't know if you know this, but I'm pretty sure farting is on it. You're also not allowed to yell every 2 minutes through the film, "Is this still the trailers? When does the film start?" And you're also not allowed to bring a pet moose with you. I think those are definitely on the list. Anyway, I hope Bob finds that egg, or maybe doesn't, then he can't fart, and he'll just sort of inflate like a balloon and float away, and that would be kind of brilliant. Hopefully, Linda, who works for Kevin, can provide some answers on this important question. I'm not sure. What Linda, who works for Kevin, did do, though, was also send in a joke, which was one of 3 hilarious jokes that I got in the mailbag this week. So thank you for all of those. It is excellent getting quite so many jokes. So let me see here. Right, yeah, so the first one is from Linda, who works for Kevin, and she says, "Joke, what is a mathematician's favourite food?" "A takeaway!" I love it. That is a brilliant joke. Very, very clever. But hang on a second. What type of takeaway? Is it a pizza? Because you could divide that into 6 or 8 slices and do even more maths. Or is it a Chinese takeaway? Because then you can get a dim sum, which I think happens if you add 1 ton soup to 1 ton soup. I guess more research probably needs to be done. But that is a brilliant joke. Thank you, Linda, who works for Kevin. Now, next up... here we go. Caitlin, who is 21 years old, says, "I have a joke." That is great news, Caitlin. Thank you for that. And even better news, she also put it in the same email. What do you call a flying animal? A hot air baboon. I love it. That is absolutely brilliant. That is a fantastic wordplay, Caitlin. Very well done. I have to say, I'm not sure I'd like to meet a hot air baboon, though. Baboons have absolutely bright red bums. So, like, can you imagine them flying around the sky everywhere? Especially at night. It would really confuse planes to see glowing red flying lights everywhere. They'd think they were other planes or, like, warning lights not to land somewhere. It could cause all sorts of chaos. And lastly, but absolutely not leastly, this is from Anonymous, who is 10 farting gorillas old, and they have sent me a free non-stinky hippo, which I'm very sad to say has already been too close to the stinky hippos and now smells quite bad. It was a nice thought, though, so thank you, Anonymous. And thank you for your joke, which is, what's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot! Yeah, I love it. It's very funny, but if I had a carrot that did actually sound like a parrot, I'm not sure I'd want to eat it anymore. I like eating carrots, but can you imagine? I'm just going to have this tasty carrot. Hello, I'm a carrot. Carrot wants a cracker. That'd be a bit weird. I'd probably just put it away and like have a tomato or something. Anyway, thank you to all of you. And all of those listeners have sent in things before, which is fantastic. I love it. I love that you will keep sending in things. Thank you so much. I love getting stuff sent to the Comedy Club for Kids mailbag. But if you've never sent in anything before, then please do give it a go. Whether it's a question that needs to be answered, a joke that you want me to read out, thoughts on where Bob's egg is, or, well, anything else you like, really, I will read them all out on this here podcast. All you have to do is ask your earthworm breath heads, I'm sorry, grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. And I'd like to ask again this week, so I am going to ask again because I can. It's my show. If you have any friends, family, pets, pen pals, aliens that you know that might like to listen to this show, please do tell them to tune in as well, as the more listeners that Radio Nonsense gets, the more shows we can make. Well, that's what the Podgoblin told me anyway on his last visit, so it must be true. He also said, though, to stop throwing cashews at him, as he doesn't like it, so that's a shame. Maybe he's not always right. You can also check out all our live shows at comedyclubforkids.co.uk, as we've got loads and loads this summer. You can grab our t-shirts, which are, of course, perfect for the summertime, at comedyclubforkids.store. And you please also check out the other podcast I co-host called Bust or Trust, which is available everywhere in the world that podcasts hide, you know, when they're on a break, or no, probably when they're at work. I don't know, just look for it on the internet or behind a tree. Oh, I wonder if... Nope, sadly, no egg in there. Well, I'll keep checking, see if we can find Bob's egg. And while I do check, you should listen to this week's most importantest bit. Though, just to warn you, on this chat, as you'll hear, I was full of hay fever, which is what happens when too many people say hey during the spring. Anyway, I'm very sorry for my very, very blocked up nose voice, but I hope that you still enjoy the superbly silly chat.
So this is called farting. These are little mistake eggs.
Yes, it is the Two Little Richardheads, Sharmena and David, aka David and Sharmena, who've never unknowingly befriended a lemur, aka Sharma Ha Ha Avocados and Dave Idly Bidly Honkington Swath, and as all our Oromo-speaking listeners will, of course, know you, Yeru Toku Bixisa Tinimisi Minjala Irati Isanin Aji Nati Fakakata. But, of course, most people know you for that time you successfully stopped a runaway drain, for your cookbook on 30 recipes to eat while wearing a hat, and most famously for your research into the Song of the Sea and how to remix it. It's so lovely having you two here. How you doing?
Hey, Tiernan.
Good. How you doing?
We are really pumped to be here, all the way from Melbourne, Australia.
Yes, we're in Australia right now.
Yeah.
Have you had Australia before? We're on the opposite side.
We're in the
I have. Yeah, there have been other Aussies on this show, but I still can't work out. I don't know. I spoke to them while they were in your time zone, so it might have been a different year, a different decade. I don't know how it works.
Yeah. Different color,
different size,
different galaxy.
That's it. Because what year are you in at the moment in Melbourne?
We're in the present, so I don't know about you, where you are.
I'm in gift.
You're in the gift year?
Yes, I'm in gift year.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, see, I haven't got any presents here, so I don't know. I'm obviously in that bit between a birthday and Christmas.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. We'll tell the birthday fairies to get onto it.
Yeah, it's a great era.
Yeah.
present for everyone every day. Doesn't matter what you've done, good or bad, naughty or nice.
Yeah.
Present every day.
Yeah.
Gets a bit tedious after a while. I get the same thing by the same people sometimes, but overall, it's a better experience.
Yeah.
Is it a good? So you said it's the same present sometimes, but do you ever get a bad present? You don't get sort of like just someone's old sock.
Worst
or
present.
Like...
Oh yeah, worst present I ever got was just some linings for my drawers, just some like a wallpaper for the inside of my drawers. So not even a sock. It's worse than that. It's worse than a sock.
But I got given an old sock once, but it was on the end of a hook on a fishing rope, and when I chased it down, I got to the end, and there was a full ocean for me.
What was that?
A sock on the end of a hook.
Oh, sock on the end of a hook.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was a fish caught me. Went swimming with him.
Oh my gosh. Is that how fish catch humans with a sock? Because I mean, I can imagine if I saw a sock dangling, I'd be like, "Ooh, a sock," and I'd have to chase after it. That would be immediately how to catch me.
Sock dancing down the street, you're going after it.
Yeah, you are after that sock, especially a nice Angora woolen sock. Yeah. You know, that's one to keep.
Lovely, yeah.
Nice lima fur, which I can always identify.
Yes. Oh, you can just see that lima fur from a mile away. You can, Dave.
Oh, I can spot it with my eyes closed. Can smell it out.
Yep. He's a Lima Terrier. That's what he is. A Lima Terrier, Tiernan.
Whoa, a Lima Terrier. I'd never heard. I knew you were a professional Lima spotter. I didn't know that was the official term. Does that confuse any dogs that are also Lima? Like, is that a human term, or can you also get dogs that are Lima Terriers?
Well, there are terrier dogs, but there's no Lima Terrier dogs. They tend to root around in other areas of the ground.
And by Lima, do you mean llama or you mean Lima?
Oh, Lima.
Oh, right, yeah, Lima. Yes.
Totally Limas.
Yes. Yes, you can't spot a llama, can you? No one can, really. I thought that was one of their powers.
Yeah, they're very special llamas.
Very special.
Yeah.
Long necks, very tall.
Quite spitty.
Can be spitty.
Yes, very spitty. But that's why you can't see them, because they spit at you and you're not expecting. You know, if you can see them, people will be like, "Stop it! You've got to stop."
That's right.
Well, we both wear glasses, so you get spit in the eyes and your day's done. Go nap.
Yeah.
Tasmania's full of llamas. Tasmania,
is it?
Yeah, so many llamas down there, spitting everywhere, but you can't see them because you're blind from the spit.
Sure. So it's probably horrible at first, and then you can't see it anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. Then you get to use your mind's eye and just feel out what's around you.
Right. I've not practiced. I've never done that sort of. I know there's training you need to do that, isn't there?
Yeah, there's some deep bush mind's eye training that you can do.
In Australian books, you can normally find your way around by feeling for wombats and koalas. They've got different fur. So if you're feeling a koala, you're probably in a tree. But if you're feeling a wombat, you're probably on the ground. So once you learn the different furs, you can find your way around. Emus, they're tall with like a bush kind of body. So if you feel an emu, you're probably halfway up a tree.
You might be standing.
Yeah, or standing.
Right. And what about, because one of the things I always worry about with Australia is that you've got some really bitey creatures, like sort of bitey spiders and bitey. How do you not feel that, like when you're doing the mind's eye thing, it's like, oh, koala, oh, wombat, oh, emu. How do you not go, oh, a massive spider?
The thing I'm mostly scared about is the bitey 2-year-olds. Yeah, the bitey.
Bitey toddlers.
Toddlers, yeah.
In fairness, they're usually just trying to let you know they've been bitten by a bitey spider. Like, just share it around. They bite you, then you bite the doctor, and then the doctor bites the anti-venom guy, and then he gives the anti-venom to the toddler, and it just works around that way.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And are the spiders worried about being bitten by the 2-year-olds as well? Is that a concern?
Absolutely, yeah. Most spiders will carry a briefcase around and hop on in it if they see a 2-year-old, because that's how they hide in their little trapdoor briefcase.
Little trapdoor briefcase.
Yeah, just like knock knock. Anyone there? I'm going in. Back in briefcase.
They sound very professional.
They're very
professional.
Six legs, 6 number code on the case. So 1 leg per code. It makes it swift in and out.
They're good dancers too.
Nice. Is that so? If you're using 6 legs for the code, is it the other 2 legs they're wearing posh shoes, or how does that? I sort of imagine them in a little tie and.
Oh yeah, little bow tie, little top hat, cane, and tap shoes, Tiernan.
Monocle and Yeah, sometimes a nice coat if it's cold, but it's not cold.
Yeah, it's not that cold here, but when in the dark depths of winter, the spiders may wear a tailcoat.
Tailcoat, coat and
Nice.
tails.
They're tap
They
dancing
say
spiders.
coat and tails, but the tails is part of the coat.
Yeah, the tails is part of the coat. Why do they say
Yeah.
coat and tails? Why do they say that?
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
That's a good question. Is that like if you're wearing a coat with tails, but you're also an animal with a tail? So it's like your coat. Maybe
Wow, that's even
like,
double
but it
surplus
says-
tail. Like
It says
what?
tails,
Yeah.
so you'd have to be a two-tailed animal.
So it's a coat and tails, and if you've got a tail, it's coat and tails.
Coat and tails with tails, then you've got two tails.
And if you're a storyteller telling tales,
oh
and
my
if they're telling
goodness.
tails,
I
then
mean, it
you're
just
up
goes on and on.
in a tree.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
tall tales, yeah, up the tree.
Up the
Oh,
tree.
we're going too
Wow.
fast. Like we are off on off. We're giving so
We've got
much
two threads.
Australia information going on here that I don't want to.
Is that
overwhelm
okay?
you.
I'm not like because I know you don't want to give too much away. It's obviously nice for there to be surprises. It's like a sort of teaser trailer, isn't it? You don't want to see the whole film
Yeah,
beforehand.
yeah. So I saw a trailer once that was a whole hour and a half, and then I saw the film. It was pretty much the same.
That's
And
awful.
yeah, it was a bit disappointing. It was a big spoiler.
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen this bit. I've seen this bit. I've seen this bit. The guy next to me hadn't.
Trailers feel like that
It
these
feels-
days.
it
Even if
feels
they
like-
have every 5 minutes, to be fair, I feel like I've gotten the whole movie. I just don't want to look. I scream and cover my eyes at the cinemas generally.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop,
Well,
stop.
they've either got to they've either got to make films like 4 or 5 days long, so the hour and a half trailer doesn't matter, or they've got to make
Yeah.
films 5 minutes long, so that when you see the really long trailer, it's actually a relief to see the film, and you're like, that's
Ah.
done.
I think that's a good way around.
Yeah,
Make the
that's-
trailers an hour and a half and the film's 5 minutes. Then you can go to a film festival, just see the whole lineup and
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
finish it off.
Also, so many things. You'd get so much more resolution out of that.
Yeah.
Don't you, for your stories that way. If your film was 5 minutes, but the trailer was an hour and a half, you'd be able to get.
Yeah, and people would really know what they were coming to see because they'd spent an hour and a half researching it, and then when they saw the 5 minutes, they'd know there wouldn't be any like. Sometimes people complain like, "Oh, that wasn't what I was expecting," or "That's not how I wanted the story to go." If you've seen an hour and a half trailer and the film's 5, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, yeah,
If
definitely.
anything, you might be a bit disappointed. You might go home and think,
Yeah.
maybe I'll watch that trailer again and try and catch up on the bits I missed.
Yeah,
That is true.
nothing like a bit of behind the scenes in a trailer too.
Oh yeah, I like a good behind the scenes. See
Yeah.
how they made the thing. If you made the film 5 minutes and the trailer an hour and a half, but then you had the behind the scenes footage, that's like 10 hours. Then you could really
That's a DVD.
you could really
That's a whole
that's
DVD.
whole
Wow.
package.
Wow. I should just say to listeners, DVDs were kind of like frisbees
Yeah,
that you could put in a machine and it shows like a film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
they might know. They might know DVDs. I don't know. I haven't seen one in 40, 50 years now.
yeah. It's very vintage
They
now.
were like a video game that you didn't get to play because your brother hogged the remote the whole time.
Yes. Yes. And every now and then there would be a game on them, but you'd have to press. It would like be the worst rubbish game. Did you ever get a DVD that had a game on it and you just had to like press the arrows on your remote control? And
Oh,
it would be terrible.
oh yeah. But
Yeah, well, I've played a few of those
played
games.
quite a few of those games back
Yeah.
in my 50s. That was a long time
It
ago
was
now.
usually like just a little arrow, and you'd move it around, and you'd try
Yeah.
and find something called special features and stuff like that. It was a hard game. I never completed any of those.
My favorite
No.
one was Chicken Run. Chicken Run was my favorite one because there was
Chicken
on the Chicken Run on the homepage
Yeah.
of their Frisbee DVD. The chickens would just all be lined up and they'd all go at you with these amazing faces, and their eyes would like fly out at you, and I would watch that for hours. That one.
That
Wow.
sounds very exciting.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
needs
yeah.
who needs a film when you've just
I didn't
got
even
that
watch the
screen
film.
there?
I just watched the homepage of the DVD.
That is very good. That is very good. I was gonna ask just with my concern about an hour and a half long trailers is the people that do the voices for trailers they'd probably get quite tired because if every time they'd be like coming soon but for like an hour and a half still
That's one of your
coming
favourite
soon.
places.
I do like to do it coming soon. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so it's hard for me to do my. In a world
Yeah.
where this movie is going to keep going, and I'm going to have to keep talking for the whole thing, I better get paid more money.
That's very good. That is very good. Do you use that voice, David, for like normal everyday event like coming soon, a cup of tea and things like that?
I'm mostly at the supermarket where I go up to. I like to use the teller. I don't like to do it myself. And every item that I'm sliding to them, so they don't have to look down. I'm like, coming soon, cat food. Coming soon, head of the lettuce. And then, but I like to put a little delay because you don't want coming now. You want some anticipation. And
That's great.
It's
Yeah. And
particularly,
also,
it's
yeah.
particularly good with the cat food because we have 4 cats, Tiernan, so
I've heard
we buy a lot of
4?
cat food. Yeah, we have 4. You might hear them meowing around. One's eating right now.
there's been the odd meow already on this.
Yeah, yeah.
podcast.
You know
It's
it is
me-
your duty to tell us all 4 names.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, the first one, the OG original boss cat is hi Phoenix. It's not you. It's not you, Phoenix. Wait your turn. Is Haiku. That's her name. She's a black and white rescue moggy, just domestic. And then
And then the second cat, we weren't going to get a second cat, but the first cat used to hang around our printer that was a brother printer, and then would hang around our bongo drums right after it. And we were saying, are you trying to tell us he's like a brother named Bongo? Bongo ended up being a sister. So, but we found another cat on Haiku's birthday.
yeah, on Haiku's birthday, Bongo arrived, and Bongo. Why am I saying that? Because I got a cold. It's going Bongo. It's Bongo.
It's
I
Bongo.
do know my own cat's name, and she's got big blue eyes, and she's very, very fluffy, very, very fluffy. And she was a rescue too, but she's very fancy. She's got some ragdoll in her, so she's real
Fancy-based
floppy and
rescue.
fancy.
Wow.
And then the next two happened when the first of our lockdowns happened that I'm sure
In that
everyone
Charlie
knows
time, that weird Charlie Chaplin time,
We were,
the vortex, the
like-
vortex of time.
you're flat out for 2 things, to get food or to go to a cat shelter. So we
So we went to the cat shelter.
Nice.
cat shelter.
Nice.
And we got
Nice.
twins. One of them is looking at you right now, Tiernan. Oh dear, hang
He's
on.
gonna
He's,
climb over
he's
this.
trying to climb over the laptop.
Phoenix, and we also have Juniper,
Yeah.
who's
Aw.
staring at the moment also.
Phoenix
Those
is
are good
not-
names.
Phoenix is 9 kilos of cat.
Ah, wow. Hello, Phoenix. Listeners, there is an absolutely amazing cat on the camera right now.
Oh.
And a very
Yeah,
big
he's-
fluffy cat. Lovely.
He's very meowy and very demanding.
I love it. Can I ask, just to jump back to Haiku, does Haiku only meow in sort of certain, like, sort of 3 meows, then 5 meows, 5 meows, then 3
Yeah.
meows? Is that how it works? Yeah.
575, yeah.
575. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow.
And it can be
Wow.
hard for her. She only wants 4 treats, and she has to say 575, and like, I just wanted 4 of these.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yes.
then
It's
That
a
is
constant
tricky.
negotiation
Yeah.
of syllables and treats.
Wow. Well, I mean, I applaud that you've taken such a cat in. That's hard work for you as well. If sort of probably quite zen at times.
it can be nice, if you want to go to sleep. Sometimes a nice poem of meows can help us put us to sleep.
Yeah, that's where
Wow.
the bush training comes in. Then the bush training. we
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
of
earlier
course.
comes in handy. Yeah, yeah.
Of course. Then you've got the bongo sounds in the background and the juniper smells. It's only Phoenix. I'm not sure how
Oh, yeah.
how he plays
He's-
a part
he-
in this, but
He's just climbing out of fires and turning into a huge bird every other
Yeah.
day.
which is very calming, very relaxing.
It can be very calming. Mythical creatures. We're always fine for a mythical creature to be in the house. So
Yeah, yeah.
we're going to get
So
a cat called Minotaur next. That'll be fun.
Minotaur. We're getting another cat.
Next cat will be Minotaur. Next cat will be Minotaur. If it's called Minotaur. Oh, it's called Minotaur.
Minotaur with you. That's it. We're going to the cat rescue tomorrow.
You could also have if you've got a mythical creature cat, the cat may or may not exist, and therefore you don't actually have to have. You can always have a
Yeah.
mythical cat that you say you have, and no one's really sure if you have it or not.
Tiernan, that's a very good
That's very
point.
good.
Yeah, you just
Griffin's
got Dave
been-
off the hook
yes,
there. Yeah.
Yes.
You
The
just-
Griffin's been around for a while. You just
Griffin.
haven't met Griffin.
You just haven't mentioned
Oh,
Griffin.
Griffin.
No, I haven't.
A mythical cat called Griffin living in our house. I didn't even know.
Well, he spends most of his time as a griffin, which doesn't exist.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hard to spot that. And, you don't know how many llamas you've got. You've got mythical cats. It's all
Llamas, lemurs.
You've just got to
Yeah.
kind of get on with these things. You don't know they're there, so can't do.
you
anything
just got to
about
crack on, make the best of it. Crack on and calm down.
it. Well, absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen. Speaking of cracking on, thank you again for having time to be on this podcast. I've got a bit I've got a question that, and I should say to listeners, I'm full of hay fever, so I'm a bit sniffly as well. But I've got a question that's been sent in that I think you two are the people to answer it. But before that, I have got some admin questions for you. Is that okay to ask you
Absolutely.
some admin questions? Brilliant. Well, the first one. And while after I ask you, I'm going to blow my nose. The first one is, I wondered, this is an audio podcast, so most of our listeners do listen to it with their ears, but they may also listen with their knees or their bums. We don't really discriminate, however they want to do it. And I just wondered if you had a favourite noise that you could tell us about, or preferably even make for us.
Yes, Shani's got a noise she's prepared earlier.
This is my favourite noise. I hope you can hear it. Oh, we put water on the keyboard.
This is definitely one not to try at home.
Can you hear it?
I heard the beginning bit, yeah. And then it went very quiet. Oh no, that's gone too quiet.
Oh dear.
Well, this is one we referenced the different places you can hear with. I'm personally listening to this with my cheeks, and it comes in crystal clear to me.
Yes.
Sure, of course.
So if you're trying to listen with your ears at home, you might have the right idea.
It's the classic blowing bubbles in water with a straw, which I absolutely love, but I also think it works very well with a milkshake. And I think for all you listeners at home, if you've got a milkshake and you want to blow bubbles in it, and if some pesky grown-up tells you not to, you can tell them, my speech pathologist says it's very good for my voice box.
Oh.
Also,
it is.
If
it's for your vocal cords.
If you have milk at home that is not a milkshake, you can turn it into a milkshake by blowing into it.
Yeah. So that's
very good.
Yeah.
And can I check, is it best to do this by a keyboard or not by a keyboard?
I would say definitely don't usually do it by the keyboard.
Sure.
That was a rookie error on my part. Rookie error.
I liked it though. It brought real risk in that I wasn't expecting, and I think that added a sort of element of danger to the sound.
We like danger. It's good to take risks from time to time.
I mean, we're Australian. We're hanging out with all the bites.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, of course,
we like
of course.
Danger. Yeah.
Can I ask, Sharmena, are there times when this sound would be useful? Like, people are worried, am I underwater, am I not? You make that noise, they think, I'm definitely underwater.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely good for trying to figure out whether or not you are, in fact, swimming at the pool or the ocean, or whether you're just having a laugh in the kitchen. Depending on what you're after, it's good. It's a good way to figure it out. So I would say if you're blowing bubbles without a straw, you might actually be swimming.
I would say if you're blowing bubbles, if you're not blowing bubbles, you might not be in a pool.
Yeah. But if you've got a straw and a cup and liquid and you're blowing bubbles, I would say you might be.
That is.
It's always good to check if you're in a pool, when you're in a pool. Sometimes you dive into a pool and you're not in the pool. You're just at home. I've just been attacked.
Can you hear that, Tiernan?
Yeah, I did. I did hear that. I did. Yeah, indeed. What happened there?
This is a can of poo. It's dry poo.
That's not real poo. That's shampoo.
Dry poo. A can of dry poo.
That is not real poo. That's shampoo.
No, it's dry poo. Look, it says dry poo. Dry
shampoo.
Poo. Dry poo.
Shampoo.
No, it's a dry poo.
Shampoo.
Is it real? Is it a sham?
It's a sham. It's
a sham.
Complete sham.
It's a sham, but if your hair is a bit greasy, you can use it before you go.
Well, nothing makes your hair look nicer than some fake poo in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
That is true.
Real poo, not so good. Shampoo, great.
Yes.
Absolutely perfect. Yeah. Yeah, it's the better sort of poo, I think. Absolutely. Yeah. I was thank you for that. That was an amazing noise. Thank you for the shampoo as well. Listeners will be delighted to have some fake poo in their lives. I was also going to ask you, this is a family-friendly show. That's why obviously you have to use shampoo and not real poo. And it's suitable for people of all ages you could possibly imagine. Can you imagine an age, you two?
I can imagine age, yes. I've got one in my mind at the moment, an age.
Yep.
An age?
Yep.
What was the question? Sorry, I was too busy laughing at
Can you imagine an age?
An age? Any age?
I've got colour.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good age.
Good age.
Yeah.
Cara is your age?
Yeah, that's the age I've gone for.
That's how. Is that the question? How old are we?
No, can you imagine an age?
Oh,
I was just asking. This isn't even in the question. I was just saying this is suitable So this show is suitable for all ages, not 100, long story, but every other age, the Bronze Age, whichever age, just not. I was just asking. But what I was going to say is, because it's suitable for all ages, I just wondered if there were any rude words you won't be saying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, we won't be saying noodle today.
No.
Oh.
No, don't say noodle.
No, we won't be saying noodle. We won't be saying noodle. We won't say noodle.
There's too many oohs in it. There's ooh. The ooh is quite profanity.
Yes,
ridden.
it is. Yeah.
Like,
and the word kind of starts, and then it starts again. It's like noodle, but then the do at the end is doodle. It's like noodle, but the doodle, like it's twice.
The doodle is quite offensive to me. I find the doodle is
It's trying to sneak the whole world back in there again.
Yeah,
it's a bit cheeky,
it's very risque.
bit on the nose.
Would it be a better word if it was doodle?
Noodle.
Do you want another ooh in there?
I think the extra ooh would make it a funner and more age appropriate.
Yes.
Noodle.
Noodle.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. That's got a good ring to it. It's got nice brightness. It feels fresh, young, not
It works backwards too then. It'll noodle.
It'll noodle.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. If you want to say that, I think that'd be allowed. I'm very grateful for you not saying noodle, though. This podcast will probably get shut down were you to say it once, and I appreciate that. So.
We would feel so bad if we were the Richardheads that got you shut down.
A couple of the noodle brains that you shut down from using a bad word.
We'd be able to come to the UK again.
No,
we'd be too embarrassed.
Well, I mean, I don't think you'd be allowed in Melbourne again. To be honest, I think
we'd be run out.
You'd have to go to space.
Sydney, or space. Yeah, Sydney space. Similar.
Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah. Wow. Well, listen. Thank you for not saying noodle. I also won't say noodle, obviously, because it's a family-friendly show. Are you mystified by mysteries?
Or can you crack the craziest cases?
We're looking for chief detectives to join us on our investigations into some of the strangest stories from around the world.
We'll analyse aliens, look for the Loch Ness Monster and hunt out curses. We'll present you with the best evidence and the most interesting facts.
And then it'll be up to you to decide and tell us what you think.
Will you be a mythbuster like me?
Or a myth truster like me?
If you want to be our chief detective, join us on Bust or Trust, a kids mystery podcast. Every week on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music and all other places you listen to podcasts.
And now listen, look, again, I'm so grateful you could be here. I've got this question that's been sent in, and I'm going to read you the whole message. It's quite a big message, but the question's just one little bit of the message, so we can focus on that afterwards. But this message being sent in: hello, dear people reading this. Read it. I am, so that's good. Hello, I think this is the best podcast ever. That's very nice. Question: do farts come out to explore and then inform poos when to come out? And then there's a weird game. It says find the odd one out. It's a trick. It's the one in the find the odd one out. Okay. And that's from the one and only, which isn't the odd one out, Ambu or Mubray. And then she's put, they are pet names. So I'm assuming I don't know if she's a pet. I don't know if a pet's written in. I'm not sure.
She could be a pet, or maybe that's a mythical creature that we haven't been told about that is also a pet name.
Yes, very possibly. Whoa, so we had a mythic... This could be a mythical creature writing in. I don't know.
Yeah. And that would be an odd one out if a mythical creature that nobody's heard of was writing in. So we might have solved the riddle there.
Wow. I mean,
you're so hot on these things, Dave. You're so hot off the press with these things. My brain can hardly cope. You're amazing.
It's very slick. I'm very impressed. Well, this is why I've had you two on here, because we've got David with his kind of mythical creature knowledge. We've got you, Sharmena, with your bubble sounds. That is the combo that this question needs. And this mythical creature / pet / Ambu Mubray, she would like to know, this important thing about farts. Do they come out and explore like sort of farty scouts, and then they where best to come out?
Absolutely no riddle with that one. They absolutely do.
There's no doubt in my mind that that's what's going on. I think 99.9% of all farts are serious investigators.
Yes.
Just checking, having a poke around, seeing if a toilet is nearby. Then there's a little 1% that don't do the job properly, and that's when you end up.
Well, as long as you try your best, it's okay to fail occasionally. But I do think most of the sometimes
the fart fails, and sometimes the poo comes when you're not quite at the loo.
the sad thing is sometimes some of those farts go out on a mission to find a toilet and never find their way all the way back. So the poo never gets the information. So
yeah, that's the other way the poo can come a bit too soon or a bit too late. Sometimes the poo doesn't want to come. It's waiting for the fart to come back. It's waiting for the prodigal fart to return.
Wow.
And it doesn't because it's lost in this atmosphere.
If you do wear the right type of glasses, you can see some rogue farts floating around looking for the poo that they originated from, that just trying to find a way home.
I once sniffed up one of Dave's poos. One of Dave's lost poos, I sniffed him up, and we didn't see him again for a few months, and then he finally came out and burped like him.
Yeah,
so that was good. He found his way back.
Wow, I'm pleased. It had a way out. Otherwise, that would have been a very sad ending to the story, I think.
Yeah, no. It's not always a sad.
No, it's not always. Sometimes you'll see a road sign, there's like an arrow, and you're like, I don't understand that road sign. Doesn't make sense. It's actually there for the farts to be directed home. Like
wow.
The signs out there.
Oh yeah, sometimes you see a lone fart just like rolling along with his, the stick and sack on his back, just like looking for his original home. And usually there's enough people around to point out the original owner and where he needs to.
That is very good. That's nice to know. So can I check farts? They are looking for toilets because sometimes you might be out camping. Sometimes you need to go poo by a tree. How do farts know? Say no, we're just for a walk in the park. Don't poo here.
Farts are very good diggers. They're very good diggers. They come out with little shovels, and they you can't see them obviously, but they can dig a good couple of centimeters deep to make sure there's no worms or anything.
So impeccably good OH&S safety inspectors for appropriate places. Yes. So, like the humble wombat here in Australia, for example, he actually poops out square poos.
Square poops, yes.
And the farts are also square, and they're so square they only find a safe place for the wombat to do the poo.
Yeah, no round holes for wombats to poo in. Wombat toilets are square too. Like our toilets are got more of an oval.
Yeah.
And I really do encourage listeners and you, Tiernan, to go and have a look up wombat poo, because I'm not even exaggerating. Their poop does come out in a lovely square fashion.
You see, I've heard this before, and what I'm always curious about is that, do they sort of build little buildings with it? Do they play Tetris with it? What do they... Is there a reason for the square shape? Are they...
I'm pretty sure a wombat invented Tetris.
Yeah, so it was invented in Australia. Yeah. A couple of wombats playing in the backyard, and
with their built-up poop.
One of them had accidentally done a rectangle, and for the first time, and they just really went wild with that. And I believe there's a documentary about it on Apple TV at the moment.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah. Great documentary. Yeah.
Of course, you got to see the entire trailer, which is 10 hours, to see the wombat part. But...
Sure, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably quite a lot to get into, because you've got to do nature documentary capturing the wombats, doing it in their natural habitat, making Tetris, and then the dramatization. Yeah. It's a lot to
show. It's a lot. Yeah. And the OH&S specialty farts that wombats have that are out there doing the investigations, which is
and the
what got us here.
Yeah, and the trailer voiceover people and the nature documentary voiceover people don't get along sometimes. So trying to figure out which ones are going to do the voiceovers can be a bit of an issue.
Wow, you've sold it to me already. I really need to see that now, just for the sort of David Attenborough versus trailer voice man moments. It sounds very exciting. Are there any other animals that do? Because wombats do square poops. Most animals do, I suppose, sort of spherical, circular poops. Nobody does a triangle poop, do they? Or like a star-shaped? Or there must be.
I did one.
I feel like there's
Well, and Shani did triangle once. I got a good look at it. It was lovely. And snakes, of course, do noodle-shaped poos. Although we're not sorry.
We're saying noodle.
Sorry. No. That's all right. Yeah. Poodles. Yes. Poodles is fine.
Poo emoji is based after the triangle poo that I did about 80 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Right.
Yeah,
invented in Australia.
It was well documented at the time in Australia, and it's
Wow. Is there a film
gone on
about
to become a
that?
very famous poo. I think it's coming out in a couple of years.
We're
Yeah,
working on the behind the scenes.
yeah, behind the scenes are still getting nutted out.
Sure, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense. I just feel it's a sort of missed opportunity for there to not be more shapely poos, you know. I suppose then you need the farts to be in a certain shape. It might get more complicated.
It does. It does make the explorations of the farts a little bit more difficult, and the street signs have got to be adapted to make different corner skills for the different farts. For the different receptacles for the poos.
The location scouting, different shape, different location required, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can you hear Phoenix in the background, and he's going. Maybe you can, or maybe you can't, but yeah,
I can't.
Phoenix
No, I'm afraid I can't.
in the background, just going. Meow, meow. He sounds actually like a peacock.
He does.
That's what he sounds like. Well, that's what he's doing. What do you want, Phoenix? No, now he stopped. Now he stopped.
Oh, he stopped. I see. Yeah, once you actually
just
say,
transformed
"Can you
into a
put an
bird."
order in?" and not bothered. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Very irritating. Yeah.
Sometimes
Unless he wasn't.
actually, what he does. Sorry. Oh, Tiernan, can I interrupt? He in the middle of the night when Phoenix needs to do a poo, he likes to announce it, and he runs around the house going meow, 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 and like for about half an hour before he finally does some cat-shaped log. And,
is that because does he not have a
up.
fart to kind of search out? Like, does he have to do the alert and the
Yes,
and the search?
he's a mythical creature, so he doesn't have the regular earthbound creature explorers.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it is a lack of farts. I think that's the problem. He definitely, if he had some good hardworking farts going and investigating the location for his poop, he wouldn't be waking us up at 4 a.m. every night.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I mean, cats do fart though, right? Cats definitely do fart. Yeah,
they
just
definitely
not Phoenix.
do.
Yeah, sure.
But Phoenix doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get him some farts. Maybe that'll solve this. We can get some good sleep.
Get him some of those glasses that you can get where you can see all the fart explorers, and he'll know to start looking for some of his own.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. Do cats eat Brussels sprouts or beans or?
Oh, that's a good idea too. We'll give him some sprouts.
Some sprouts. We'll just get him loaded up and
maybe some charcoal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's been rising out of the ashes. So.
Well, listen. I mean,
before I interrupted you last time, and now I've interrupted you.
No idea. That was far better than whatever I was going to ask. You've answered the question very thoroughly, and I don't know. I suppose my only thing was people still. I say people, some very silly grown-ups still sometimes think that farts are rude, or like you go, oh, you shouldn't fart, you've got to be polite or hold it in. But then, why don't they understand that farts are important? They have to scout out where the loo is. If you have to keep a fart in, who knows what will happen,
Yeah.
Well, I think some of those adults that feel that way probably have very pooey pants and haven't made it to the. And maybe we should feel some compassion for them because they haven't managed to make it to the toilet themselves and have pooed their pants.
Yeah, because they're because of the oppression of their own farts. Yeah.
But if we shed the word as much as we can that farts are there to serve a purpose, then I think that's probably good for us.
Thank you for your farts.
We always thank
the farts, don't we?
We always say thank you.
Thank you
so much.
That is a beautiful message to share with the listeners. Thank you, and I hope that they go out and they thank the farts and they share that with others. And you see, I knew you two were the ones to answer this question from Ambu, and I really appreciate that. And have you got a busy rest of the week? Year of gifts? Are you busy just sort of cat wrangling or? What are you
Lots of cat wrangling this week, and then we get busy again. So cat wrangling this week, and then next week gets bit more busy. We're going to hang out with a heap of clowns and all go to the Dr. Brown together. Yeah, yes. Dr. Brown. Yeah, yes. Dr. Brown and his singing tiger. Some of you listeners might know. We're going to hang out with him next week and cool. Do some Dr. Browning.
And just identifying lemurs,
lots of lemur identifications
to identify out there.
Sounds great. Well, listen, thank you. Good luck with all of that, and thank you for the fart thanking advice, and good luck with the lemur spotting.
Thank you
Well,
so
thanks,
much.
Tiernan.
Thanks for having us. And thanks all the kids out there listening. If you've got any more questions for us, just send them our way.
Or send us a fart.
Absolutely.
Fart egg on toast.
Thanks so much to Sharmena and David for their very, very informative cat and lemur-based chat. It was brilliant having them on the show, but also for answering Ambu's very important question. Ambu, I do hope you liked your answer, and if not, maybe send out a fart to explore when it's best to send in your complaint to Radio Nonsense, and you'll quickly discover the answer is never, ever, ever, ever. Thanks. I hope you don't need an egg to do a fart, or of course that would make complaining even trickier. If you'd like to send in a question that needs answering, a joke you've made up, an intro for the show, or well, anything else you like, do please ask your earthworm breathheads, grown-ups, to help me email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. And again, please do tell other silly faces about this here podcast and to listen in. Come and see Comedy Club for Kids live. You can check out all our shows at comedyclubforkids.co.uk. Grab one of our t-shirts or our book at comedyclubforkids.store. And don't forget to also check out and listen to the Bust or Trust podcast too. Now, while you were listening to that importantest bit, I did try to figure out just where Bob's egg might be. It's not been easy. I made several calls, which I have recorded for evidence. Have a listen. Hello, is that the zoo? Yes. Do you have Bob's egg? No, go away. Hello, is that Montague Harrington's Umbrella Emporium? Why, yes, of course. Do you have Bob's egg? No, never call here again. I'll wave an umbrella in your face. Hello, is that the Recycling Xylophone Centre? Yes. Do you have Bob's egg? Sorry, I can't hear anything you're saying as I'm recycling a xylophone. So there you go. I'm afraid absolutely no answers at all, but I do hope that Bob is able to sort something out and can find his egg so that he can fart. Oh, wait, here's an outro from Linda, who works for Kevin. Hi, I found the egg. It was not in my pocket the whole time, and now I'll eat it. Hooray! I love it when a podcast has a happy ending. But wait, it wasn't in the pocket the whole time. So where was it? And what happened to the fart? Had it gone out to explore and look for the egg, and that's how Bob found it? So many questions! Bye! You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids Presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.